Hi everyone. Well, they said go big or go home.
So we're home, so we might as well go big.
That's right. So we'll be back in a tick to have a look at the AT-AT from Star Wars.
See you in a second.
So if you were a kid in the 1980s and you got one of these under the Christmas tree, you thought you were the bee's knees, because this, along with the Millennium Falcon, was one of the biggest vehicles that Kenner released. And there's a heap of playability in this. Have you had a good look at it, mate?
No.
All right. What have you noticed? Obviously, this came with electronics. So you were able to play with the electronics of the light-up turrets that come underneath the chin guard, and they move backwards and forwards. You had electronic sounds and sound effects in here. But also, you could open up panels. Have you had a play with that? Try the panels.
I know that there's this panel and the cockpit, but
That's
I
right.
think that's the only panels.
Okay,
Oh,
so
there's a hole that opens
yes,
up
there's
there.
a little tiny piece of removable
And the head moves.
panel in the front. You can grab hold of a handle inside and move the head backwards and forwards. And it also allows you to put the Kenner figures. Of course, any of the 1980s Empire Strikes Back Kenner figures could go into this. There was a 1980s release. There was also a 1983 release that came out with Return of the Jedi. So if you have the Return of the Jedi box or if you have the Empire Strikes Back box, it really doesn't matter. Obviously, the mouldings and everything are exactly the same for this AT-AT. With this, obviously, Kenner had a very big hit on their hands, and a lot of these sold, but they are very fragile now, given that we're, nearly 50 years down the track. These become very collectible and also a little bit more fragile than the newer ones. So we're not going to play with this one too much. What would you give this if you had to out of 10?
Probably because, as you were saying, back then it may have been a higher score than I'm going to give it now.
Mm-hmm.
But because what it is now,
Yeah.
it's sort of around about like an 7.
A 7, okay, that's solid. All right, click your fingers and let's get another one.
Oh.
So, here we are. We've got two of the more modern Hasbro releases now. And again, you've got a lot of similarities to the originals. They both have the firing weapons at the front that light up. They are both electronic. This one came out as part of the Power of the Force range. And also, the big difference on this one is that there is a grappling hook that Luke can attach to and shoot himself up underneath the belly of the AT-AT. If you remember in Empire Strikes Back, he throws a grenade inside and blows it up from the inside. Drops himself into the snow as it falls apart. So this one again, the turrets on the side move around. So yes, you can open up the cockpit on this one and put in the AT-AT drivers. You can actually move the head around from inside it again. And of course there's the opening panel here. The big difference with this one is the buttons for the all of the sound effects and things are on the inside. So you just press those 3 or 4 buttons that are in the inside there. Then they also brought out an Endor version. So this one's more suited to the Endor Return of the Jedi set. This one has the paintwork on it that looks a lot more like it's been through the mud and the dirt in the forest moon of Endor, whereas this one is predominantly for the snow of Hoth. So you've got a couple of variants here of the same thing that came out at different times over the course of probably from 2002 through to about 2010. The other thing, of course, is with these, they are fully articulated in the legs. They are a little bit more robust than the original Kenner version because they're not as old, so the plastic hasn't worn as much. And they also came with figures, which was a little bit of a bonus depending on where you bought them. So what would you give these ones, mate, out of 10?
I think I'd give them maybe an 8 too.
Okay.
Because they are virtually just the same moulds with different little quirks and stuff.
Okay, so they've got the playability the same as the Kenner original had, and they've also got, I guess, like you said, some extra quirks and things in it that allows them to be a little bit more playable. But apart from that, the moulds are virtually the same and the size is exactly the same. Let's have a finger click, shall we? Okay, so we're back, and this time we've got a monumental mammoth of an AT-AT. This one is huge.
Whoa.
And it comes with a lot of things. We'll get to that in a sec.
Oh.
Comes with a lot of things. There's so many opening panels on this. You can actually lift up this panel here at the front and adjust the head, move the head backwards and forwards using this toggle switch here, which also doubles up as having cannons on the top, which weren't on the original in the films, but it's a nice touch and a good way of using something fun in the design. Again, the guns fire at the front, they light up. You've got, oh, look at that, an elevator claw that goes down, allows you to put your figures on it to raise them up into the adder.
Oh, and there's a ladder.
And best of all, there are so many opening panels on this, it's ridiculous. If you fold them down, you can put characters inside. You've got those grappling hooks on both sides. Let's just turn it around and show the other side there as well.
I don't know how to get this
grappling hooks up
in.
and down here on both sides, and with pegs on them that allow you to put the figures on the
And then
pegs.
you've got this little
And then, of
windy
course,
thing.
Yeah,
to wind
there's a
it up.
winding thing to wind it up with. There's a whole platform up here and the ladder inside. But also in this, there's so many electronics, things that light up. It's just incredible. Open up the cockpit, mate. So when you open up the cockpit, you've got a whole heap of different stuff inside, including panels that light up, glass panels,
Rebel base located.
and sound effects, yes. So there's buttons on the top. All right, there's buttons on the inside that allow you to do different things. You had some buttons inside here.
Can we get to the back
No,
yet?
no, just wait. There's little tiny panels that allow you to have figures pop out of them or be seen inside that look really cool. The legs are articulated, of course. You're having way too much fun, aren't you?
Yeah, I want to open the back though. The
Okay,
back's
he wants
my
to open the
favourite
back.
part.
Let's show you the back. Let's turn it round. You might have to, my friend.
Red lights.
Stop pressing buttons for a sec.
Oh,
There is also,
there's a
with this
button that makes
particular
it
one,
release on that side.
there is, yes, a button that releases it, and it comes out with its own speeder bike. So there is a speeder bike here that you can take
That
out,
is my favourite thing about this.
and then you can put snow troopers on that to fly along. So it's on a panel, it comes out of the back of it.
I don't know why, but
Let's have a
speeders
look.
are so
That's what the
satisfying.
speeder bike looks like, and it's a white one, which is a lot different to the original speeder bikes that came out. And it allows you that extra piece of playability that you probably didn't even realise you might be getting. But the obvious thing is the amount of electronics in this made it an expensive item in its day. And it towers over everything else that's been made even now. This is beautifully done, probably more to the scale of the 3 3/4 inch. When you put a Luke Skywalker next to it, here we are,
It's the right size.
it's probably very close to being the right size and right scale. So if you can imagine Luke going up the middle here and dropping down back into the snow, it's a pretty impressive piece of equipment, this one.
Oh, there's something on the bottom.
What's that?
There's a little panel.
There's
on the
another
bottom.
panel. Oh, fiddly fingers will
I
find
can't
everything.
open it.
Well, we'll get to that later. What would you give this out of a...
10.
You give it a 10?
Yes.
Easily.
Yes.
It's your
It's
favourite
so,
AT-AT?
yes, it's so nice and it's so goodly articulated and it's got so many different lights, panels, and it's even got extras like a speeder that you I don't even think you see it in the movie,
No,
but it's
probably
got it and it's so nice, the speeder and everything in it.
The other thing, of course, is this isn't the only vehicle that ever came with an extra speeder bike, of course. There were the dropships that came out of Attack of the Clones. One of those came with a speeder as well that was installed inside it for you to play with extra. So we're going 10 out of 10.
Yes.
No holding back.
Nope.
Beautiful. All right. Keep playing, mate.
Okay, because I don't want to click yet.
I'll click for us. So what movie is this one from? This is the AT-ACT.
Rogue One.
Rogue One, exactly. And this one came out as part of the Rogue One, as my little apprentice just said, line of figures and toys. And this one is a electronic, just like all the others. However, don't press anything yet. This one comes with a whole swag of playability, and that's probably going to push it right up in the stakes of what
Doesn't
you
have
think.
too much playability.
Well, you wait and see. So, this is the first thing that this one can do that none of the others can. Hit the button, boy.
No, I need to face it this
No,
way.
no.
But then it'll walk off the
Just
edge.
do it. It can walk. But not only can it walk, you've got the same sort of stuff that you had with the other one. Opening cockpit, you can put your figures in there. You've got other firing things. You can turn the head electronically. Yep. You can fire the cannons at the front. Wow, you didn't see that coming. That is a Nerf dart that fires out of the front of it. And of course you've got the light up and the walking. Now just hold it there because we're getting drowned out by sound effects here.
Oh.
You might remember in Rogue One on the Scarif Beach, this machine could also do a lot of other things. And the beauty of it is that you can slide out this panel in the middle, so you end up with a very see-through AT-ACT. And if you open it up, it's got all of these compartments in here that allow you to do different things. What can you do in here?
There's a grappling hook so it can hang down, and we've already got a little gun set up here.
Yep.
So if you take this out, you can set other things up,
Right.
and you can.
So if I put
hang
that, take the
people
gun
like
away
this.
for instance, hang on. If I put that there, you can set up something down to the ground that allows you to position it so that people can go flying down the
And you can-
rappelling rope.
And you can wheel it up with this little cable,
Yep,
and then you pull it down.
that's right. And you can hook it on and you can make it go so that it's actually a rope rather than just a holding thing. So you can pop that into one of these holders and you can stretch it out and your figures can slide down the rope
Like
like
this.
that. So there's one other thing that this can do. Do you know what it is?
It can be used on a mobile phone.
Correct. So if
Or
you've got
an
a mobile
iPad.
phone, you can download the app and that allows you to use it as a remote control. You can remotely use the phone to control and get all of those functions to work, the electronic functions to work on the AT-ACT. So there is so much in this. It is an amazing piece of equipment. What would you give it?
Well, I think I may give it an 8.
Oh, okay. So only an 8, yeah? Even though it can do this.
But I don't think it's 10 worthy. It's very small, and there's not a lot of
is very
stuff
small.
that can happen in here. You can
know.
just sit people.
I think what they've tried to do though is they've tried to make it a little bit more playable for kids rather than for collectors. So there is quite a bit of stuff that comes with it, but you're right, in the end it isn't big enough compared to other previous AT-ATs and compared to what size it should be in the film in relation to a 3 3/4 inch figure. So I hope that was a great look back, sort of a nostalgic look if you like, back from the Kenner range right through to the Hasbro range of the AT-ATs, the Walkers from Star Wars, as well as the AT-ACT that came out as part of the Rogue One line. And if you want to watch more of what we do, what do people need to do?
Like and subscribe.
And hit the notifications bell as well. And who's our affiliate? We've got an affiliate that helps us out a lot.
Goodies Toys, goodiestoys.com.au actually, if you're looking to order stuff. And don't forget to keep your eye on the Jawas scrap heap,
That's
because
right.
there may be some good bargains in there.
And that's $99 free for orders in Australia. All right, well, that's it from Darth Aussie. I'll see you next time. This is Darth Aussie and his apprentice signing off.
Bye!
Bye. May the Force be with you.